Hey there. Link and I want to invite you to a workshop on December 4th. It's Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be on the Facebook group Spirit Centered Business. So if you're not over there, make sure that you join. And if you're listening to this at any other time, go over there and get the replay because this is important. I was shown or have been shown the importance of realms this year, and especially in the last few months. And I actually did a 5-day gates checkup challenge where we're checking the gates into our realms. And this is different than that. This is going to be cleaning up everything that happened to us and got on us from 2020 and really prepping our realm to receive the amazing things that God has for us in 2021. He has been opening up the spiritual realm and downloading revelation faster and faster and faster. And we need to be prepared to do that. We have to step up our game and really be aware of the realms and the gates that are access points into the realms. And we want to prepare that for 2021. Now, of course, I am all about business. So making sure that our business realm is cleaned up, right? Is your realm cleaned up? Obviously, our life affects our business, right? If things aren't quite going right at home, then they're not going to be going right in our business. So we have to make sure that we clean it all up and prep it all. So I invite you again to come on December 4th. It's a Friday and it's going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific. And of course, if you miss it, go grab the replay. But I'd like you to register at spiritcenteredbusiness.com/workshop so that you can get the email reminders. Okay, off to the show.
Welcome to the Spirit Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here's your host, Berlin Newby.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Spirit Centered Business. I have a really cool guest today, Sebastian Diaz. Is a health and fitness coach, and he is also one of the rock stars from my Planning to Profit group. And I just love your story, Sebastian. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. And I love your accent too. You're from Argentina, right?
I am, yes. My original language is Spanish.
Awesome. That's really good. So first of all, you're new to my audience, and I want to tell them the story of your whole story, like how you got into what you're doing, all your professional or semi-pro career, your coming to the US, and then of course, how God guided you and directed you through all of that. So I'm just going to give you the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. I was always passionate about soccer. I was born into a Christian family with all the mindsets and stuff that come with that.
Christian or Catholic? Because sometimes
Christian.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But still, a lot of those old mindsets that God helped me get through in my process to healing and wholeness. I was always passionate about soccer. You can see a picture of me when I was in diapers holding a soccer ball. It was like my passion since before I could even think about it. And I just loved it. So I tried out for different teams in Argentina, a bunch of different teams, professional teams. Over there, soccer is the only sport, or like the main sport. We don't have like football, soccer, basketball. Everybody plays soccer. Everybody gets a soccer ball when they're little children. So it's everybody's passion. So it's really hard to make it. But I tried anyways. I tried out for many clubs, got denied many times. And then I finally did a tryout for a professional club. And they told me, you didn't make it. And I was so done with it. I was about 18 years old. I was going into college in Argentina. but I really want to play soccer. So after they told us a bunch of like, it was about 300 people that they told us you didn't make the cut. I got mad and I went talk to the coaches. I'm like, look, I work, I go to college, but I love soccer. Can I just come and practice with your team? And then if I never play, that's fine. So that's what I did for 2 years. I went to practice every single morning. Then I went to work for my dad, and then I went to college at night.
Oh my gosh. So this was a pro team that you're practicing with?
Yes, it was the second team, like the second tier team of that pro team. So
wow.
I sometimes got to train with those professional soccer players that made a bunch of money and play, and they were on TV and everything. But I never really made it because coaches and stuff lied in my face and all that. You might hear my dog chewing some food too, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
They told me, oh yeah, we'll sign you into the club, and oh, there's problems with your paperwork, a bunch of stuff that never really came true. So basically, I went to train for that club for 2 years in a row, and I never got to see 1 minute of playing time. And I was used as an example of, oh, look how good he comes to training every single day. You guys need to follow. Even the captains didn't come as much to practice as I used to come, but they never played me. Sorry. And God, in that moment of like struggling, because that was my passion my whole life. I remember going in my moped back home and crying, saying like, God, why is this not happening? I would love to play professional. And every time I prayed for the club, every time I was there, and then they made it they were in the third division, they made it to the second division. So I believe I was bringing blessing to that club, but I could not play 1 minute. And God was telling me, just keep going, just keep going. Just keep going, keep training, keep going. And I never understood why, because over there, if you're 19 years old and you have not signed a professional contract that you're making money, you're not going to make it. And I was about 20 years old when I was still going every morning. And one guy that I knew in Argentina told me, hey, I've heard of these soccer camp that they bring a bunch of coaches from the United States, from different colleges and universities. Would you like to go and try out? And so I trained 6 months by myself, taking a bus, a train, a second train, and walking a couple blocks to go to a place where they train free players, and then doing the same thing back, going to work, going to college for PE teachers.
For 3 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years. Did
on top
of
the other one? On top of the 2 years with the other? Oh, at the same time.
Yeah,
okay.
So half a year more.
Got it.
So I did 2 years with that club and then half a year by myself training with free players. I went to the tryout and the Holy Spirit was all over me. I was like, pew, pew, pew. I scored the first goal of the competition. They made me the captain of the team. We didn't know each other. It's a bunch of kids that just go and try out. I scored. Wow. I had an assist, and a bunch of coaches approached to me, and one of them was Coach Enrique from Colombia, and he was the coach for Central Christian College, the assistant coach, and he spoke to me in Spanish. My English was so poor I could not speak with anybody that was from the U.S. So him speaking Spanish to me was like, oh, thank you very much. And he was telling me about the school. It was a Christian school. And well, in the end, I got offered about 7 different schools offered me scholarship. And the one that I chose, because God led me there, was like 80% scholarship. Central Christian College, this guy gave me like an 80% scholarship. So I was paying next to nothing to come to school.
Wow.
So I left my family, my friends, my culture, everything. But I had so much peace because that's what God had put in my heart. So much so that the day before leaving my home country for the last time ever, probably, I I took a nap. I took a nap like 30 minutes before leaving my house. My mom is like, "How are you gonna take a nap?" I'm like, "I have peace. I need to take a nap so I can function the rest of the night." So I took a little nap. I felt all energized. My friends came to visit me. I left to the airport, and I've been here in Kansas for about 6 years. And then I played college soccer. And in those college years, I was struggling. What am I gonna study here? I only came for soccer.
Mm.
And I was debating, like, the first year I switched majors so many times, and I still had that religious mindset in me that was telling me, well, you should study the Bible. Like, they're a Christian school, they offer Bible classes, you should study the Bible. But I always had a passion for exercise and
Mm.
physical activity and improving your body, and especially because I was always striving to play semi-pro and pro soccer,
Mhm.
and, which I did later on. And I I just felt a struggle inside of me saying, "Whoa, you should study the Bible." And the rest of me was like, "Whoa, you should study exercise science because that's what you like, and it's gonna give you an edge in competition." So one day I went to Bible class and I was about to cry. I was so stressed out. And my
Mm.
mom, she's like a witch, but the good witches, the ones that are Christians, and they know everything. and she, she's so connected to me somehow from all the way to Argentina that as soon as I left that class, she texted me and she said, "Hey, what's wrong?" I'm like,
Mm.
"How do you know what was wrong?" And I told her, I told her what was going on, that I was struggling, I didn't know what to choose.
Mhm.
And God made it really clear through her, well, study exercise science because that's why you have a passion for that. That's why I always struggled, and it made me sad to see people struggling in their health or people with
Mhm.
poor health and not doing anything about it. So I
That's
did.
that's exactly how God works as far as directing our paths is you're literally in tears and stressed over what you should or other people say you should study the Bible classes, and it really thrills you and you spend your passion for your whole life over on the exercise science side. So we really need to pay attention to those, um, the way that we're wired. So I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, I did. And I started paying attention to all that stuff. And I was still passionate about soccer. And I always told people, well, I'm going to keep going until I just don't feel the same passion anymore.
Yeah.
And during the summers, instead of going home, I stayed playing for a semi-professional team in Virginia. So I stayed away from home to play more soccer, and then I would come back here and play the regular season. But in my journey, I got hurt so many times, so many different ways.
Mm.
And since I'm an international student, I I didn't have really a health insurance. I had like an international thing, but it was so expensive to afford one in the United States. So I
Mhm.
had to figure out a way to get myself back into shape, how to heal my own body, how to, when I twisted an ankle, a knee, a shoulder, how to bring myself into balance so I could train again and be the best version of myself because I wanted to keep going and get to play professional soccer. Um, so in my struggle, in my pain, God taught me through people, and through the studies I was doing. I was studying exercise science, or my dog is here making me pet him. Say
That's
hello,
okay. Hi there. What's his
hello,
name?
Duke.
Oh, Duke. Hi
Sorry.
there.